So hello guys, vinhasenxualreplays here and I'm back to the channel. Yes, I'm back to the channel and this time to stay and starting off with the banger. Yes, the Waffen of E100. The Waffen is coming again to World of Tanksblitz at this Christmas event and I can show you right now why I'm saying this. So guys, this is the main screenshot that I like to show you. This is the loading screen of this Christmas event. And when you enter in the game, you can see these three tanks, one of them being the E100 with the new legendary skin, the G-Sword, the tank with his legendary skin, which is the main tank of the event. You need to spend around 500 heroes dollars if you don't know. And here he is, the Waffenträger of E100 and with a legendary camouflage. And I need to say it looks beautiful, and I hope I get it because I don't like the skin of the Waffenträger auf 100, the base one, because yeah, it looks a bit weird and it looks a bit futuristic. It's like a prototype skin. I don't like it, At least I wanna select the skin that I wanna have to my tank, and this at least looks incredibly good, and I hope I get it. But this is the first screenshot, as you can see. So the tank, if the tank is here with the legendary skin, it's going to probably be a tank that is going to be sold. I don't know if it's going to be an event only for this tank, which I think it will not be, but I think it will be sold on the auctions, and I will show you why I'm saying. So, as you can see, this is the first screenshot that got leaked by Wargaming themselves. They don't hide it. They show this on the live stream if you don't see it. And as you can see, this is going to be a different type of auctions where you can bid. So if you put 500 gold on this tank, and the bid hence being 500 gold, you get the tank. But there are going to be a lot of people trying to bid on this tank, so the price of course will increase, and the 500 top players that have the highest bid will get the tank. And as you can see, the Blitz 9000, a battle pass tank, is going to be sold on the auctions, and I believe that the Waffenträger auf E100 will be one of the tanks that will be sold on this type of auction. The price, well, the price I think will be very high. I'm not going to be surprised if I see the tank at 100k gold. Yeah, I think if Wargaming is really trying to find a way to make money, they will probably put the tank with a huge amount of gold, or they are going to sell the Waffenträger auf E100 this time in crates with a drop chance of 3%, 2.5%, and one box will probably cost $5 or $6. So don't expect to get this tank in a cheaper way. But yeah, this event, as you can see, this is the symbol of the event, and yeah, it's going to be an event that is coming this Christmas. I don't know specifically the day, but not only it's going to be an event that you can buy tanks, but you can buy skins, and other things. It's going to be a very different type of auction, and as you can see, the Forest Witch will receive a new legendary camouflage for the ones that don't like the Halloween style and like more, a war style, I think. So this is the screenshots that I want to show you. So as you can see, this is for me enough to say, this only screenshot is enough to say that the tank is going to be sold. And yeah, you can expect it. You can expect it because they are putting a legendary camouflage for it, which I think it will be on the auction sold alone for gold. And I'm going to get it, absolutely. It's my favorite tier 10, so why not? So, and the overall statistics of the tank, can you show me? Yeah, of course, I will show you. As you can see, we have 1,976 hit points on the tank, which is average. The tank is huge and still doesn't have that big amount of hit points. especially because this tank doesn't have the spall liner, and the spall liner is the provision responsible for reducing the AG pens from the enemy. So yeah, you will be completely vanished either way, so it doesn't matter. So really average. The main armor, as you can see, the turret is completely trash. Even the tier 6s and 7s will penetrate you. The hull, yeah, this value specific right here on the front is high, but I will show you in a moment on the Blitzkit website that this doesn't matter because the tank is huge. So no one will, look at this part of the tank. They will look to your head or the lower plate. So doesn't matter this area. Then the chances on getting on fire. So it's high. 18 is very high. I think I've seen 20 on max, and this tank has 18% of getting caught on fire, which is a lot. The view range is average, doesn't matter. The concealment, it's probably the worst concealment that you can get for a TD in tier 10. The 4005, to take in consideration, it has 65 while stationary, and while moving I think it has 50 or 45, which is a lot compared to this tank. So you need to be away from the enemy at least 290 to 300 meters away. Otherwise, you will get, caught, and the enemy will destroy you in 10 seconds. Yeah, and will be gone with the AG capabilities that the enemy has and the armor that this tank doesn't have. So, and then I will skip a bit the fire. So the guns I will skip for now. The top speed of the tank, we have 38 forwards and 12 reverse, which is very average for a tank that depends only on the gun, and 33 average speed, which is nothing amazing. Then the power to weight ratio, the same, nothing spectacular. The weight, yeah, here the tank shines. He has 83.64 in terms of tons. So 83 tons is a lot, especially on fun modes. You will have very good times if you try to ram the people. Then this doesn't matter. The terrain crossing capacity, it's also decent. Nothing amazing. I should say it's average to decent. So, and then why I don't talk about the guns? Well, because this tank has two guns, as you can see. If you like more alpha, you have this gun with 570 on the AP. On the hit shells, you have 480, and on the eye explosive, you have 870 alpha damage, and you have 3 shells on your magazine. And the problem is the interclip 3.53 interclip reload. In that means that you need to look to your enemy for 10.5 seconds, which is a lot, is enough to kill you instantly, because this tank is focused by every single tank in the enemy team, because it's a new tank, and not only that, it's huge and it's free damage. So yeah, completely easy to detonate this tank. So you need to be cautious. You need to shoot, hide your tank, shoot, hide your tank, and shoot, hide your tank. Of course, it's situational dependent. If you can shoot the three shells without moving, because you are blooming your aim, so if you can not move, it's perfect. But most of the times you will need to move, because this tank will be obliterated. So yeah, this gun, the main thing is the alpha damage. The other gun, you lose completely the alpha damage, especially the HE. You lose 470, but in the other part you get better precision, so better aiming time, better dispersion. You lose a bit of DPM, nothing spectacular. And there is the change. Shell reload time between shells is 171 reduced, which means the tank will have an interclip reload of 1.82. So a really good decrease, but you have 5 shells on your magazine. So the time to dump all of your clip, it's the same in the two guns. The penetration, you only get 10 millimeters on the AP, and the rest you decrease a bit. So yeah, 8 degrees of gun depression on both guns. And yeah, that's it for the guns. Personally, I like to run the alpha damage gun because I like more the alpha, and I don't like the idea of losing my alpha damage. As you can see, 470 is a lot, and being able to deal 870 on the enemy with 3 shells, you can be able to deal 2610, I think, which is a lot of damage. And this tank, as this gun, it's kind of, you know, a different gameplay, but yeah, if you like to track permanently your enemies, I will choose this one. But if you like, you know, a gun with more alpha, of course you need to be cautious because the precision of the tank is worsened on this gun. But yeah, if you like precision, go for this gun. If you like alpha damage, go for this gun. I personally, I will give you my opinion. I prefer this tank and I think is the better one. Then the consumables. Well, this tank has the shell reload boost to reduce the reload time between the shells by 30%, which is huge. If you have, you know, if you have sure that you will dump your 3 shells, you can activate the shell reload boost and the reticle calibration. That also reduce the aim time and the gun dispersion, which guarantees you 3 penetrations, and that's amazing. These 2 consumables, if they don't exist, the tank will be even trasher than it is, you know. So now, after the statistics, I want to say that if you are an average to bad player, I think this tank is not for you, because this tank is dependent on the positioning on the map and of course your capability. So if you are not a decent player, expect to not get a decent win ratio. As you can see, me, that I am a decent player, as you can see, I already 3 Mark III tanks, nothing spectacular, but I don't play too much. But as you can see, I'm a decent player, and still with this tank I only get 2904 damage average per battle, and the win ratio is really bad because you are a team dependent. If your team is bad, you will be bad because you cannot change the curse of the game. So if you will lose, you will lose, and that's it. Okay, so yeah, the tank in this department is really, really bad. So don't expect to win and to get average damage on this tank. Expect to have fun times. That's why this is my favorite tank, as you can see. Yeah, I have more battles on the Smash and on the FV, but on the Waffenträger, that is a tank that only has 1 year on this game. I already played 2000 battles on it, so really, really nice for this tank. And in terms of gun marking, this tank is really, really hard to get the 3 marks because you have 234 XP mark, and I can compare it with the 4005, which is a way better tank than the Waffenträger Auf E100 in pretty much everything. This tank has the 3 mark on the 213 XP, and the FV183, which is a tank that is even more easy to get the 3 marks. He has, I think, 180 XP for the 3 marks. So yeah, it's way easier. So yeah, 180, way easier to get on the FV183. And the 183 is a strong tank compared to the Waffenträger Auf E100. That I don't understand, but it's okay. The tank is pretty much almost impossible to get the 3 marks. If you are a good player, of course, with persistent, you can get it. I think it takes me at least 100 battles to get the 3 marks, so it was painful. But yeah, let's see. Let's jump directly to the armor of this tank. So here we are at the Blitz kit website, and let's see the armor of this tank. And yeah, look at this. You have 5 millimeters of armament on a tier 10 tank in certain areas, of course. Here you have on the middle 11 millimeters and 10 millimeters, and that means that even a tier 2 will pen you in these areas. And yeah, for the other parts you have at least some armor, but yeah, it's pennable, okay? So these areas are 100% pennable, and these parts right here, especially down here, as you can see, it's pennable also. The only parts that are not AGable on the turret, probably these parts here on the upper part, and this part right here, it's pennable from especially the TDs. And yeah, I will show you the normal armor as you've seen on the game. And as you can see, this part here is the only part that you can, you know, bounce some shells. And of course, if you are at a certain angle like this, the enemy tries to hit you on the tracks and gets blocked by the tracks. So this is the only way to get bounced on the upper plate. with some luck, and if the enemy are shooting AP, because if they are shooting AP CR or hit shells with 350 millimeters average, they will still pen you, especially if you are on front of them. So look at this, you don't have any red part, you have some troll parts like this one that you can block by lucky. This here, yeah, it's pretty much impossible to block shells on these tanks. So yeah, as I said, only if you have luck you will bounce shells on this tank. And yeah, this is the ammo of the tank, really, really poor. So overall, guys, I think this tank statistically is probably one of the worst tier 10s in the game, if not the worst. So if you are trying to find a tank to get statistics, this is not the tank for you, okay? I think this tank is too weak. It needs spall liner. Tanks like Grill, as you can see, he has spall liner, 405, bat shot. They have spall liner, and the 405 is probably the best tier 10 right now in the game. He's overpowered, and he has Poliner. He has the consumables that pretty much the Waffenträger have. He has everything better than the Waffenträger, and still he has Poliner. So I think this tank needs at least the Poliner, and it will be fine. But for now, I don't think statistically this tank is worth it, and is definitely one of the worst tier 10s in the game. But for the guys that want to collect tanks and want to have fun, and if you are a decent player, because you only can get fun in the game if you are decent and you are dealing damage and winning, well, maybe it's worth it. If you find it for, in terms of gold, of course, if you find it for between 50,000 and 100k gold, as you can see, the gold on the Christmas event is cheaper, so I think it will be worth it, okay, your money. But if it comes on boxes and each box costs $5 to $6 or euros, I don't think it's worth it, okay? Be patient, wait for the next year or years, 2 years max, that this tank will be for 20k gold and everyone will get it. You know, it's just a terrible tank for now. At least for now, let's see in the future if Wargaming change it. At least give it spall liner Wargaming. This tank really needs it. So I think it's this, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.